Okay, let me ask you something. No food and no drink from the second the sun comes up to the moment it goes down for an entire month. Just take a second and really think about that. Could you do it? It sounds intense, right? Well, that is the central practice of Ramadan, the holy month that millions upon millions of people observe every single year.
But what if you're not Muslim? That is the exact question adventurer Eva Zubek decided to explore for herself. This year, she made the incredible choice to observe Ramadan right alongside her Muslim friends. She's diving headfirst into this personal journey to truly understand this profound experience from the inside. And her story, well, it gives all of us a unique window into what this month is really all about.
All right, so let's get one thing straight right away. When we hear Ramadan, our minds usually jump straight to fasting. And look, that's a huge part of it, but it is so much more than just not eating or drinking. It's really a complete, holistic spiritual practice. The whole month is kind of built on these 4 key pillars. It's a time for some deep contemplation and self-reflection. It's about strengthening that connection to faith, and just as importantly, to your community. It's a time for dedicated prayer. And, of course, it's about giving to charity.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of why. You see, the physical act of being hungry isn't about punishment or deprivation just for the sake of it. No, it's actually an incredibly powerful tool for building empathy. It's this gut-level, physical reminder of the struggles that so many less fortunate people face every single day.
So, knowing all that, you might be wondering, why would someone who isn't religious choose to take all this on? Well, for Eva, her journey was driven by 3 very specific motivations. She broke it down into these 3 key things. First, a deep desire for empathy. Second, an interest in the health benefits. And third, a challenge to strengthen her own mental discipline, what she calls mind power.
The biggest one, first and foremost, was empathy. I mean, with so many of her friends observing the fast, she wanted to truly connect with them, to share in their experience and understand the challenges and the rewards of Ramadan firsthand, not just as someone watching from the sidelines, but as an active participant.
Her second reason connects this ancient practice to a very modern trend. We hear about intermittent fasting all the time now for its health benefits, right? So she saw this as a really cool opportunity to explore what it could do for her gut health, but in this structured, time-honored way. And finally, reason number 3 was all about the mental game. It was a mental workout. We've all been there. You reach for a snack out of pure habit, not because you're actually hungry. She wanted to give her mind a workout, to consciously control that mindless urge in a safe, controlled environment. It just goes to show you, Ramadan is as much a mental test as it is a physical one. So that's the theory, but talking about it is one thing. Actually doing it is a whole other ballgame. So how did she actually get on in those first few days? Well, her experience was a lesson in itself. A key part of the daily rhythm is something called Iftar. This is the meal that's shared with family and friends at sunset, the moment you finally break the day's fast. It's a deeply communal and really celebratory experience. Now, since this was her very first time fasting, she made a really sensible adaptation. The traditional fast means no food and no drink. Yep, that includes water. But she decided to keep drinking water during the day to avoid headaches, especially in the dry, arid environment she was in. It's a great example of just listening to your body. And here's something really cool. Embracing the spiritual side of Ramadan doesn't mean you have to be strictly religious. Eva used the time for more self-reflection and meditation. Even though she's not religious herself, she found so much value in the mindfulness and the sense of presence that the month encourages. And you know what? She was totally honest about the struggle. Starting something new like this is never easy, but her mindset was just spot on. This is all about taking baby steps, trusting the process, and just pushing through when it gets tough. As the days went on, one theme just started to emerge more powerfully than anything else, and that was the profound impact of just sharing an experience with other people. Look, she wasn't expecting to come out of this as a completely different person. That was never the point. The real goal was actually much simpler, and maybe because of that, much more profound. It was an opportunity to learn.
And this, right here, is the central takeaway from her entire journey. True understanding, true connection, it really comes from trying to see the world from another person's perspective. And every single chance we get to do that is a chance to grow.
So to everyone observing this holy month, whether this is your very first time or your 50th, we'd just like to wish you Ramadan Kareem.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Eva's journey was about fasting, sure.
but the principle behind it is universal. It makes you wonder, what new perspective, what deeper connection could you find just by trying to walk for a little while in someone else's shoes?